Okay, so today we're going to talk about the law of sines, which it definitely relates to just the sine function, but it's more than that. Okay, when we were using all the trig stuff that we did last week, the sine, cosine, and tangent, those only work with right triangles, okay? This law of sines that we're going to look at today can work with any triangle. So it doesn't just have to be a 90-degree triangle, whatever, right triangle. All right. So the law of sines, kind of a mess here, but really this is the main idea of the law of sines right here. Is the sine of capital A over little a equals the sine of capital B over little b. And the sine of C, this part right here is just there just to show all the different possibilities, but the main thing is that right there. So what does that capital A and lowercase a stand for in this? All right, so here's what it means. The A, the capital A, capital B, and capital C refer to the measurement of the angle. The lowercase letters refer to the length of the sides. Now, the important thing on this is that the letters, the corresponding letters like A and A are always going to be opposite each other. So you have angle A right here. The side A is going to be the side that's on the opposite side of the triangle. See, here you have angle B, and side B is on the opposite side of the triangle. Here you have angle C, and side C is on the opposite side of the triangle. So that's important to remember, that the same letters are going to be on the opposite sides of the triangle. Okay, let's drop down here, and remember on your calculator, make sure you're in degree mode. Make sure you're in degree mode up here at the top right. If you're not in degree mode, it's in radians, make sure you change that to degree. Okay, so on number one, we're going to find the cosine of 104. So just type in cosine 104, and this is going to be the standard cosine function. Whoa. Something going crazy? I don't know if it's on there or what. Okay, cosine of 104 is negative 0.242 or whatever. Okay, next one, tangent of 225 is what? 1. Is 1. Okay, and the point of that is just showing you that you can use these trig functions with numbers that are more than 90. Okay, so down here at the bottom, number 4 says to find the length of TU. Okay, so I'm going to put my X right here on TU. And what I'm going to do here, well, first of all, let's find this third angle up here. How would we find the measurement of this third angle up here? Remember, they add up to 180. So just do that real quick. 180 minus 64 minus 41. What is 180 minus 64 minus 41? Is what? 75? Okay, we don't really need that, but I just want to show you that this is not a 90-degree triangle. This is not a right triangle, okay? There's no angles in here that are 90. And we wouldn't be able to use regular trig in this situation because it's not a 90-degree triangle, okay? So in this case, we're going to have to use something else like the law of sines. All right, so remember this, the law of sines is this. The sine of angle A over side A equals the sine of angle B over side B. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start off with this angle right here. So angle U is 41 degrees. How long is the side that's opposite of this angle? Is 18 meters, okay? So basically that's going to fit into the first part of this. Sine of angle A, or sine of angle U, so it's going to be sine of 41 over 18, okay? The sine of this angle over the opposite side. So sine of 41 degrees over 18 equals, okay, and now we're going to choose this other side, an angle pair. So right here, I'm looking for this side. Do I know the angle that is opposite that side? It's 64, so we're good to go here, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say the sine of that 64-degree angle is equal, or over, the side that we're looking for here, x. So the sine of this angle relates to this side in the same way that the sine of this angle relates to this side. So what we're doing is we're just setting up a proportion here. Now, all it is algebra from here to find the value of x. Okay? That's all it is algebra from here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to cross multiply. So 18 times the sine of 64 is 18 times the sine of 64. And when we multiply this way, we get x times the sine of 41. Now I'm solving for x. So to get the x by itself, what do I need to do? Yeah, I need to get rid of this sine of 41. And right now it's x times sine of 41. So that's right. We're going to divide by sine of 41. Because remember, sine of 41 is just a number. It's not like it's a variable or anything. It's just a single number. Now the sine of 41 over the sine of 41 cancels to 1. And now x equals this whole thing right here. So what we're going to do is just type that whole thing like that into our calculator now. So in a fraction, I'm going to type 18 times sine of 64 in the numerator and sine of 41 in the denominator. All right, so we have 18 times the sine of 64 over the sine of 41. And what does that give you? Okay, gives you 24.66 meters. Now let's just think about that for a second. If this is 18 meters, does that make sense that this would be 24.66 meters? Yeah, that's definitely reasonable, okay? Generally, if you get the wrong answer on this, it's going to be unreasonable. It's going to be totally out of whack. So, like if you'd have gotten, some number less than that, if you'd have gotten like 2 or 3, you would have done it wrong, okay? So again, on all this, just think about reasonable answers for sure. Okay, second one. Or number 5 there, it says find the measurement of angle E. So I'm looking for this angle right here. All right, so again, going back to this law of sine. Sine of angle A over side A equals sine of angle B over side B. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm looking for an angle and a side that are opposite each other. So that's definitely a good pair to work with there. So I'm going to go, all right, sine of 102 degrees over, how long is the opposite side? 42 equals, now for this angle that I'm looking for right here, do I know the side opposite it? Yep, it's 26. Okay, so on now this one, the sine of whatever that angle is, we're going to put x there, over 26. Okay, so we're going to cross multiply to solve for x. So I'm going to have 26 times the sine of 102 equals 42 times the sine of x. when I cross multiply going this way. Now, I'm going to be looking for x. What do I need to get rid of on this side first of all? Yeah, let's get rid of this 42. So how am I going to get rid of that 42? Divide by 42 on both sides. Okay, that way these 42s cancel to 1. And now that's just going to leave sine of x. Now when I'm looking for an angle, what do I do when I'm looking for an angle? I use the sine inverse, okay? So what I'm going to do now is, well, basically this is what's going to happen is I'm going to do the sine inverse of the sine of x. And what happens is the sine inverse and the sine basically cancel each other out and just leaves the x. And what I'm going to do on this side is just do the sine inverse of what I already have. 26 times the sine of 102 divided by 42. I'm going to type that in my calculator just like that. I'm going to go sine inverse of there we go. Okay, 26 times sine 102 okay, divided by 42. All right, and so it's going to give you 37.27 degrees. Okay, so on the back, all we're doing is practicing what we just did. Okay, so on number 10, I'm looking for side BC. All right, I'm going to put my X right there. So I'm going to go sine of 40 over X equals sine of 71 over 25. Right, the 40 is going over the opposite side, and the 71 is going over its opposite side. Sine of 40 over x equals sine of 71 over 25. And again, from here, it's just algebra. So we're going to cross multiply. We get x times sine of 71 equals 25 times sine of 40. And so to solve for x, what do I need to do here? Divide by sine of 71. Yep. Bless you. Okay. All right, what was it again? What are we typing in here? Sine of what? 71. Was it sine of 40 on top? Yes. Okay. So 16.995, so that's just going to round that all up and just make that 17. So that's just going to equal 17. All right, number 11, I'm looking for DE. Now on this one, okay, the side that's, or the angle that's opposite the side I'm looking for, I know is 45. But do I know the angle opposite this side? No, but I could find it easy enough, right? Because what do I know about these three angles? They add up to 180. So that's the first thing I got to do real quick is 180 minus 45 minus 63. What does that give you? Is what? 72. Okay, 72. All right, so now I'm going to go sine of 72 over 3.8 equals sine of 45 over x. I'm using the sine of this angle over its opposite side, the sine of this angle over its opposite side. So I'm going to get x times sine of 72 equals 3.8 times sine of 45. Bless you. Divide by sine of 72. So 3.8 times sine of 45 divided by sine of 72 is what? Is what? 2.83. Okay, number 12. On this one, we're solving for GH. Try that one real quick. Okay, so it should look like that. Sine of 116 over x equals sine of 35 over 39. Cross multiply x times sine of 35 equals 39 times sine of 116. Divide by sine of 35. And what do you get? 61.11. And again, just thinking about reasonable answers. If this one's 39, 61.11, that makes sense for sure with what's going on. Okay, so those three are for missing sides. Now the last three are for missing angles. So on number 13, we're looking for angle J. Looking for angle J. All right, so I've got this angle and its opposite side, the angle I'm looking for and its opposite side. So I'm going to say sine of x over 9.1 equals sine of 97 over 11. So when we cross multiply, we're going to get 11 times sine of x equals 9.1 times sine of 97. I'm going to divide both sides by 11. And so the sine of x equals that. And so we're just going to do sine inverse of that side over there. Okay, what was it? 9.1 times what? Oops. Sine of 97 over what? Over 11. And so, did I type that in right? Okay, so 55 points, and that's going to round to 2. 55.2 degrees. All right, so x equals 55.2 degrees. Next one, number 14, we're looking for angle R. So I have this angle and its opposite side. I have this angle and its opposite side. So we got everything we need. So I'm going to go sine of 43 over 16.9 equals sine of x over 24.7. All right, so when I cross multiply, I'm going to get 16.9 times sine of x equals 24.7, times sine of 43. Just cross multiplying here. Divide both sides by 16.9 to cancel that to 1. So then I'm going to do sine inverse, so that whole side over there. And what does that give you? All right, so it gives you 85.39 degrees. Okay, try that last one. And what do you get on that? 17.83 degrees.